Welcome to the Aid Station. I'm Chris Robb, and today I'm hugely excited to go to a country that I've never visited personally. I've been lucky to go to many places in the world. We travel to Podgorica in Montenegro, where we meet Igor Majer, who is the CEO of Multipsort Academy MAYER. Igor, wonderful to see you. How are you?
Yeah, hello, Chris. It's great. Thank you very much for your invitation.
I'm so excited to have this conversation. We've been getting a bit of an update off air before we started. You've got an amazing story to tell. I mean, you're somewhat of a trailblazer in the mass participation industry in Montenegro. And I'd love you just to start by a couple of minutes of your background and your own story, please.
Yeah, first of all, when I saw all the people that being your guests in your podcast, I mean, what I'm doing here, but I mean, everybody has their own story, and okay, my story is small because I'm from the small country. The others has the bigger background, but mine is like 5 years ago when I started doing triathlon as a hobby. I am entrepreneur before that, and with all the triathlon industry going really fast uphill, I couldn't close my eyes and let it pass by me. So I was doing triathlon and half distance and full distance, double distance, double Ironman, Norseman, and traveling all over the world on 3 continents, racing. I was, people are selling to me, the best the best place for the swimming, the best, the most beautiful bike course, the most beautiful run course. And I know where I'm living. I live in a small country, but it's really picturesque, and I know I can bring people to my country. 2016, I started with one small event, half distance race, Social Lava Montenegro, in my hometown in Kotor. And in only 4 years, it became one of the biggest, the biggest half distance racing in Balkan area, with 600 people from more than 40 countries racing in the beginning of the May. And after year by year, people saw that I know what I'm doing. I'm learning really fast. So right now I have a few events, international events with open water swimming, X-water events, with local business run events with more than 2,000 people running on the 5K. And I have one of the most extreme triathlon races in the world. Its name is Black Lake Extreme Triathlon, which is part of the X-Tri World Tour. So it's started as a hobby and finished with a company, with employees that are bringing thousands and thousands of people every year to Montenegro. I mean, active people, and bringing a few million euros every year. And because of that, I got some rewards from the government, from the Ministry of Tourism, from the local authorities, and they saw that this thing as a sports tourism is the big thing and can be a huge thing for a small country as Montenegro.
Wow, that's a wonderful story, and obviously not overlooking, which I think often does get overlooked in our industry. We tend to focus on the economic tourism impact, but the impact that you must be having on local Montenegrins who are becoming more active, more healthy, and so on is absolutely wonderful. Congratulations. Yeah. We were talking a little bit before we started that the COVID situation is good. Looks like borders are starting to open up, albeit that you've cancelled some events, and we'll talk about some of your challenges a little bit later. But what's the situation been like over the last few months? What's life been like in Montenegro, and what's it like for you now?
Well, actually, we went in the lockdown, and as much as we didn't like it, I mean, it was the good decision. Right now, no active cases. We fight with that really fast. Of course, it's easier because you are small. You can close all the borders. You can close towns. We couldn't travel between the cities in Montenegro, but it's a bit challenge. I feel it by myself. I like lost 3 events in such a small in like, let's say, 4 weeks. I mean, lost it in the mean. I was not preparing all of that. I was not welcoming all the people in Montenegro. So it was most of the time I just answered the emails, helping people to retrieve something that they can do. and just couldn't think long enough to start with new projects. And trust me, being in business like this, it's always about the new projects. So when you run out of the energy to think about something new, then you should be worried. And I was worried a bit. I was worried because, for 2 months I couldn't just find the new energy for planning. But when the spring came and all the sun and lockdown was not so strict, it was some feeling to me. It came back, and I start preparing something new. And then again, I feel great and I feel positive about it. And when I now heard some of my speeches that I had from Zoom, Skype, or whatever during that period, it was not so bright as it is now, because I was really not so positive what will happen with the industry and everything after this, because we lost a lot. We lost one whole year. Maybe the next year people stop doing the recreative sport. People that plan to have their own first race for this year just cancel it for the next year. Now we need to see what will happen with all the COVID situation during the winter time. So maybe those people will never enter the recreational sports ever. People that tend to travel a lot will not travel a lot. They will travel only to local races. So impact on this community, on this business is huge, is enormous, and especially for the countries that rely on the tourists from abroad. So as the Montenegro, as some countries in Asia, for example, or maybe in Africa, or that welcome the guests and the athletes from all the continents, and they will suffer the most. So who will not? What countries will not have that much impact? I mean, the really sport nations, for example, in Europe, like Germany, like France, like Italy, they have a lot of their own athletes, so they will not travel. They are not expecting a lot athletes from outside, and they will recover slightly faster than we do. But the countries that depend, and the industry that depends a lot from travels, we will see.
Yeah, that's
Especially the
amazing. I mean,
sports
you were telling me 40 countries in an event of 600 people. I mean, that's an incredible achievement, and a great testament to, obviously word spreading and people coming through. Congrats on that. That's amazing. And you spoke about, the challenges of you've cancelled 3 events. And what's that meant to your business? You said you've taken this hobby, and you're clearly a person with massive energy and passion, and you've done these events all over the world, and you've bought it there. You acknowledge that it kind of drained your energy for a while. What's it kind of meant from a business perspective? Have you had to let staff go? Have you had sponsors that have left you? Some of those kind of challenges that you face. What are some of the most challenging decisions you've had to make?
It's about passion. What I'm saying to all my staff and to everybody that came to Montenegro, if you want to do this, you need to. It need to be about the passion. And of course, as the businessman, you need to think about the economic value of all of that. But the passion needs to be on the first place, and everything else behind it. Actually, I canceled or postponed for the 2021 only one event so far, Ocean Lava Montenegro, and for the X Waters and the Business Run, I need to push it to the end of the September and beginning of October this year. But I know it's now the calendar are full, all the events in September, in October. Nobody wanted to just cancel it for this year. It is challenging, but actually this business, if you organize it, as I told you before, it's everything about the passion. Even the sponsor that you find are your friends. So you are never send an email and they respond, okay, of course, just give me your account number and we will give you money. It's never happened. It's something that you are building through the years, and those people needs to know you, needs to trust you, and needs to believe in your vision. And if you in any sponsor agreement, if you try to value things that the company will get and the money they will give you, it's never equal. That money that invest in the sport event, if they invest in commercial on social media, on internet or TV, it's much bigger, wider spread. It's better for them. Money is better value for them than investing in event. but it's not always about money. And we need to know that it's about the message you want to send and you are sending. And this message from the sports event, it's not easy to send. It's hard. It's need 1 year you to put it everything on air and to believe everything will be okay. So you need to make friends, and you need to be with them, and they need to understand all of your concerns. They need to understand your challenges. And with that, I didn't lost anything.
Wow.
Maybe you lost some. Maybe you lost. I mean, you didn't get, or if you get money for this year, you will get some small amount for the next, but you didn't lost anything. But you need to really know your sponsors, your audience, your local authorities, your government authorities. You just need to speak with them, with open heart, with open mind, and with passion. And I mean, they understand. They see it's not something you made up. It's something what is happening all over the world. And you just need to okay, let's make it as less painable as we can do, and that's it.
So about relationships, about engagement, about communication, and I think an opportunity. I always like to speak about leadership, and clearly you've shown this massive leadership role in the industry. And I guess it's an opportunity in an emerging market like Montenegro, where these events haven't been around for so long, for brands to show leadership as well, to say, well, we believe in, impacting on the tourism impact of the country and the impact of the people and the engagement opportunity that platforms create. So from a sponsorship perspective, are you seeing that that's local brands that are taking the leadership in sponsorship, or are you seeing it's more multinationals that see the value in other markets that are getting involved in the industry?
Well, when something comes from abroad, they have already some vision about what they want to do and how they want to do. So it's much easier to negotiate with the companies that are from outside of Montenegro. But one of my biggest success when I say that is when I see the CEO, the marketing, or the some people from marketing department that are in communication with me. They start to do running or they start to do triathlon. When you see that, you know that you are on the good path. You know that your mission is succeeded, and you don't need to worry about the sponsorship agreement anymore in the world. So they are a lot of them are grateful that have events like mine, events in the such small place in Montenegro, because my my audience is not Montenegrin. It's widespread all over the world.
Yeah.
So they can send their message. Of course, one athlete from Moldova, for example, it's not their target audience. That's good, but that's okay. But photos of him on social media, and he's of course has his own impact over there. They're spreading their word all over the world. And what everybody wants to know, that you don't want to be the most famous person in your village, of course. You just want to people all over the world knows about you, even if you don't have anything from that. You don't turn anything if somebody from Brazil knows about you, but you feel good. And that's the most interesting thing. It's not everything about the money, and it's not everything about, as I told you before, turnover. It's about feeling good on this particular event, and having your message spread all over the world, because it's something you need. This event is something that you want to be part of, and it's hard to for me as non-English speaking person. It's hard to explain everything correctly, but it's much easier to speak with people that came with that come from abroad than from the locals. With the local company, it's much harder. Their budgets are tighter, and those events cost the same amount of money you organize it in Montenegro or organize it somewhere else. It's still 300 people, 400 people involved in organization. You still need to have so many volunteers, and it's something that costs money, and you need to have something from the sponsors, of course.
Wow, yeah, no, that's a great perspective from a difference in an emerging nation. I think you're clearly an incredibly inspiring person. You've completed double Ironmans and races and so on. You've probably seen lots of inspiration, as you know. On the aid station, I always like to end with an inspiring story. What would you like to share with people that are watching that's inspirational?
Well, actually, I just don't believe in that you will hurt somebody and you will inspire yourself with that. When I was young, and okay, maybe I I was before, but what I tend to see 10 years before of this, I couldn't imagine any of this. I was part of the family company, working from 8 to 5, and with 3 kids. I'm living the perfect life in Montenegro, with my holidays in wintertime and summertime, and skiing and then swimming, and it's enough. And I try to inspire myself from other people, but it doesn't work. And people need to stop thinking that we will get inspired from others. They need to find their own sparkle, wherever it is.
Hmm.
Mine was in some hobby as a sport. Somebody else is some art or music or whatever it is. And they need to know that we are living in this time where it's everything about some sponsors, some money, some agreements, something, and to not to believe that they can find their own part of all of it. So actually, if I tell you now how I finished the Norseman, how I finished the double Ironman, how I became the first Montenegro to finish the Ironman, and it's not something that needs to. It's funny thing to her, but it will not inspire you. You just leave all the gurus that are telling you that you need to be the better one and positive and so. You just need to find your own spot, whatever it is.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
trust me, in this world today, with all the internet, with all the social media, you can easily adapt on the new environment, and just to believe in what you are doing, that's in that tiny sparkle, and to really think big. And
Ah.
when I said to think big, I really think a lot. And most of the things I cannot even say out loud, because people will say, okay, this guy is crazy, just move it. But most of the things are already done. So it's in 5 years time, it's amazing what you can achieve.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, so looking inward, being able to do something that you're passionate about for yourself rather than for others. That's a great way to end. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. I mean, you're so full of energy. You're massively positive about what you're doing, and you're clearly a trailblazer in Montenegro. I wish you all the very best, and hope it's a huge success, that you're back soon with your events, and that they continue to grow and make a massive impact on the communities in Montenegro. Thanks so much for your time, Igor. Great to meet you.
yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for your time, and I'm really glad that my name will be on the list with all the other names that you already had and that you will have in the future. So thanks a lot one more time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye bye.